Hello there, you're just right on time for KUTV Primetime News, and here is our top stories from our KUTV newsroom.
Tonight, not under my watch, President William Ruto vows to face corruption head-on, warning perpetrators that no one will be spared. Why we don't want Raila? Rigathi Gachagua says the opposition chief messed up retired President Uhuru Kenyatta as the two face off in Nyandarua. Also tonight, Kenyatta University School of Law launches the first ever e-journal during the 11th All Kenyan Moot Court competition. Plus, Queen of Africa, Malkia strikers conquer Africa in a nations volleyball championship in Yaoundé, Cameroon.
Alright, it is takeoff time. I'm glad to be a captain, and my co-pilot tonight is Evelyn Langat. And of course, we welcome your feedback and comment on all of our social media platforms. Remember, we are live on KUTV, that is on YouTube, and you can tweet us at KUTV_Kenya at Auma Evans. Remember to use the hashtag Primetime News. Now, President William Ruto has vowed to take on corruption head-on, warning perpetrators that their days are numbered and no one will be spared in the fight against graft. Speaking while on an inspection tour of ongoing road construction project in Kisii, the head of state reiterated his government's full commitment to combating corruption, stressing the importance of safeguarding public assets for the benefit of Kenyan people. Yvonne Kemuma starts us off tonight with that report.
Is according to President William Ruto, who was speaking today in Kisii County as he conducted an inspection of ongoing road construction projects in Kisii and Nyamira counties. President William Ruto later on officiated the groundbreaking ceremony for construction of the Nyamira County Aggregation and Industrial Park.
And we are not going to compromise with anybody. Whoever you are, whatever political party you belong, which religion you come from, which community you come from, which county you come from, we are going to deal decisively and conclusively with corruption in Kenya so that we can protect public property and public resources and use them for the good of the people of Kenya.
But be cautious, Your Excellency, that even those ones who will be cheering you, some of them, they want your protection. After blundering public resources, you as our president, I want to plead with you. Cross the country, tafadhali, kwa sababu usiposimamisha sasa mambo ya wizi, hata baada ya wewe kutoka itaendelea.
The president also took the opportunity to once again call out the opposition for its previous move to organize countrywide mass action demos, as he once again condemned the damages occasioned by the violent riots, stating that they destroyed roads, public and private properties. However, the president was quick to note that his government harbored no resistance towards the opposition itself, as he mentioned that they are willing to work more closely with the opposition, exemplified by the establishment of the office of the opposition leader within the government.
Na mimi nataka niwaambie vile vile ya kwamba mbali na hiyo soko, tunataka kujenga soko zingine 7 hapa Nyamira County. Hapa chini, mahali tunaita Keroka, tunajenga soko kubwa hapo. Kwa sababu nilikuwa pale na wananchi wanahangaika pale, hakuna soko ya sawasawa.
During his tour in Kisii and Nyamira counties, the president has consistently advocated for his government's vision to establish industrial parks in various counties. This vision aims to bolster trade while assisting traders through storage and preservation facilities and facilitating value addition. Ruto further urged area chiefs to work on eradicating illicit brew in their areas, as he says the chiefs will be held accountable. ICT hubs will also be introduced in every wards to provide employment opportunities for the youth. Yvonne Kimuma, KU TV.
Right, from head of state to his deputy. A fierce one-day stand war of words ensued in Olkarau, Nyandarua County, as Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and Azimio leader Raila Odinga shared a podium during a send-off for Mau Mau veteran John Jigoya Kagwe, alias Brigadier Kiboko. Rigathi Gachagua picked on Raila for instigating violence during the protest orchestrated by the opposition, warning that government will not allow the opposition to wreak havoc in the country anymore in the name of anti-government protest. Former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, on his part, told off Gachagua to stay out of pending dialogue and let the dialogue committee do its job rather.
Our constitution has express provision for demonstrations, picketing, and all that goes with it. That is true. And that is why we allowed you and your people to do it. But what you did was not demonstration. Ilikuwa ni kuharibu mali ya Wakenya. Ilikuwa ni kupora mali ya Wakenya. Ilikuwa ni wizi ya mali ya watu ya Kenya. Ilikuwa ni kupiga polisi na mawe. Those were not demonstrations.
Still on Deputy President, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has announced that the Coffee Board of Kenya will soon be reinstated, while addressing the members of Parliament drawn from committees of the Senate and the National Assembly on agriculture, trade, industry, cooperative, the coffee reforms caucus and other legislators from coffee growing areas at his current residence. And as KUTV's Ruth Wanjiru reports, Gachagua stated that the reinstating the Coffee Board of Kenya will solve governance problem in the sector.
The coffee sector in the country, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua today hosted a sensitization forum at his current residence, a forum that drew members of parliament and key stakeholders from coffee growing areas. Gachagua stated that the biggest challenge in the sector is bad governance, which he says must be dealt with to ensure fairness and equity in the sector.
And why the cost of production is high is that there is mismanagement in cooperative societies, and there is also a lot of corruption. And also, most societies have been captured by the millers and the marketers. You must look at the governance issues.
In addition, the DP stated that aggregation of cooperatives should be considered so as to reduce corruption as well as to weed out cartels hiding under the umbrella of cooperatives.
Look at the possibility of aggregating our coffee through legislation. You need a view that a society to be licensed to deal with coffee must have a minimum number of tonnage so that we aggregate the societies to make sense.
The Deputy President also announced that the Coffee Board of Kenya will be reinstated to ensure that coffee farmers are well taken care of. He further added that reinstating the board will also play a key role of solving issues relating to farmers more efficiently.
Let us look at that and bring back the Coffee Board of Kenya. And this is informed by the fact that when Coffee Board of Kenya was in existence, farmers were well paid. So we are saying, let us have what is tried and tested.
Gachagua also extended a warning to those he termed as coffee cartels and accused them of scheming artificial coffee crisis to oppose the new coffee reforms. The second in command added that President Ruto's government will do what's necessary to weed them out.
So I want to tell these cartels that trick of stopping to buy coffee to create a crisis will not work. We are going to put money for the farmers. And we'll get the coffee and put it in our stores and pay for it.
The sensitization forum happens 2 months. The sensitization forum happens 2 months after the coffee reform conference took place in Meru County, where the DP pledged to revitalize the coffee sector by weeding out cartels to ensure farmers' welfare. Ruth Wanjiru, for KU TV.
Right, elsewhere, Kirinyaga Member of Parliament Jen Njeri recorded her statement with the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, that is DCI, today, following her attack on Tuesday. Accompanied by Rarieda Member of Parliament Otiende Amolo, who is also her lawyer, the Kirinyaga legislator called off her attackers, citing that it is wrong to solve political grudges using violence. On his part, the Rarieda Member of Parliament stated that they expect the case to be handled sooner as Njeri identified her attackers. The assault occurred at the Krigoya police station, where clashes between two factions representing opposing political interests transpired. The attacker left Jane Njeri severely injured and crippling with a significant head injuries.
Kama mtu ana tofauti za kisiasa na mwingine, a resolve na huyo mtu, lakini sio kupanga vijana wakuje wamvamie.
It is our expectation that because she was assaulted by people she is able to identify, we expect that they will finish the investigation quickly and bring those people to book. And therefore, the first aspect is the criminal prosecution for this heinous act.
And Dorcas Rigathi, the spouse of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, has continued her campaign for the rehabilitation of alcohol and substance abuse victims in Kianduthi slums of Thika constituency. During this event, Dorcas Rigathi reiterated the need for society to embrace individuals striving to break free from alcohol and substance abuse, stating that this step will assist all those working towards recovery. Pastor Dorcas also emphasized the importance of community support in the rehabilitation process, noting it goes a long way in assisting the victims.
Every sub-county, including Kiaba, are practicing this initiative, and so many of addicts are getting reformed, going back to productive society. Families have begun embracing them and seeing them as sick people. They are no longer now hating them or chasing them away from their homes.
Many of these children are going out into the streets because of broken families, separated families, divorced families, and families that have gender-based violence. So our men are going out there. These are, hata mukisikia nikiwaita maboys. These are men, these are fathers, these are leaders. And I know in the future, they are our economic drivers.
Rehabilitation campaign aside, now let's focus on education matters. Kenyatta University School of Law has today launched the first ever e-journal for the 11th All Kenyan Moot Court competition. The journal is in line with the theme of social economic justice, enhancing government's transparency and accountability in the protection of human rights. The book is said to benefit the society in terms of social justice and governance accountability. And our very own Edward Nyamu attended the launch and filed the following report.
Scholars from the School of Law, Kenyatta University, have today launched the first moot court competition e-journal. The milestone comes at a time when the country is facing social injustices in the society. The e-journal is said to benefit the society in terms of enhancing social justice and government accountability. The launch was made possible by a collective team of law scholars who dwelled much on research to make this possible. The event was graced by Sarah Wesonga from Article 19.
And the fact that this initiative is a student-led initiative, it's a student-driven initiative, I think we need to hand a hand of applause for the organizers of the All Kenya Moot Court competition. And it's with that I wish to congratulate all the participants who've worked diligently to contribute to the journal research. Your insights, your analysis reflect the passion and dedication that are essential in fostering positive transformation. And we hope that we will be able to exemplify the power of academic inquiry to shed light on complex issues and pave way for informed action.
According to Dr. Atemo Tom, Deputy Executive Dean, Kenyatta University, he lauded his team for the great achievement and at the same time calling on the upcoming team for the 12th edition of the All Kenya Moot Court competition to take note from the outgoing team.
We shall forever keep in our minds, number one, we were in the Supreme Court. Cindy? Yes. Number two, we have launched the e-journal. What else? Yes, we care for ourselves. Yes. Thank you so much. Madam President, we thank you for your leadership.
If you may recall, Kenyatta University has hosted All Kenya Moot Court competition for 9 consecutive years.
On the other hand, Janet Karemi, the 11th moot court competition president, who could not hide her joy, stated that it was not easy for them, noting that the e-journal was the first ever done since the first competition, the incoming president seconding her.
This journey is not merely an event born out of necessity. Rather, it's a testament to our collective passion for human rights and unwavering commitment to nurturing crucial conversations in our country.
In the 11th edition, we embarked on a journey that resonates deeply with the heartbeat of our nation. Serving as the finance director then, I had the privilege of witnessing firsthand the tireless efforts put forth by every member of the AKMCC family.
The launch of the book now marks the start of the 12th moot court competition, with such event expected to play a big role in benefiting the society in line with social justice among Kenyans. Edward.
That story by Edward Nyamu takes us to our first break here on KUTV Primetime News. Plenty more to follow after the break.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Stock ni tulipanda shamba na tukaweza kutoa mafuno ambayo ni mahindi. Sasa hivi mnaona hii ni stock ambayo bado ni green and we are taking this green stock kusiaga. Kama unavyoona tunasiaga hii to make the silage. Sisi ni wakulima ambao tunafanya different kind of kilimo, lakini hasa tunafanya kilimo ya ng'ombe za maziwa. Kampuni ambayo inajiita Liberty Dairies Limited.
Today is when we get to meet the newly crowned Mr. Nairobi.
Warren Peter is a student at Kenyatta University pursuing bachelor's degree in economics and finance. Warren Peter is a model. Warren Peter is a stylist. Warren Peter is a guitarist. Yeah, Warren Peter is a jack of all trades. I'll never leave the house without a watch. I'll never leave the house without a necklace.
Welcome back, and we are glad you're still with us. Now, Kogelo Economic Development Enhancement Private Organization, in collaboration with the other private organizations, has organized an event to provide help with important products to people living with disability in Kayole. The event, which was held at Kayole Social Hall, saw persons living with disabilities receive a vital commodities such as flour, diaper, among other products. Take a look.
People living with disability in Kayole have benefited from the help of basic needs in an event organized at Kayole Social Hall today. The event aims to sensitize the society on matters disability as well as ending stigma. The event was organized by Kogelo Empowerment for Economic Development Organization, KOEDO.
Robinson Obada, the founder of Koido, asked the government and other stakeholders to join hands to ensure people with special needs are cared for, adding that many have challenges affording essential needs in their daily lives.
Tunaomba serikali kama wanaweza tuwafikia, tafadhali waone venye wanaweza tupatia, watutolee subsidy kwa diaper na watutolee subsidy kwa upande wa madawa ya hao watoto. Cause ni mzito, inafika mahali sasa mtoto hata hizi kaa katikati ya watu.
While donating diapers and foodstuff, Tradewinds Aviation representative Ruth Wamboi promised that the organization will provide more funds to ensure the people with disability are taken care of in the society.
Contribution at this point, but tutaendelea kufanya kazi nao, kuwasaidia vile watataka. Tumeleta chakula pia, watu watakula, but in any step watahitaji usaidizi, tutashikana nao because we are the community and the community is us. So community wakiwa sawa na hata sisi tutakuwa sawa pia. Tradewinds tunasema asante sana kwa kutualika. Asante.
According to Teresa Waki, a parent to a child with cerebral palsy, stigmatization is the main challenge facing people living with disability. She urged the society to embrace them as this will reduce their mental stress.
Wengi hawachukulii vizuri wengi. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu wanaona huwa ni shida kwa ni burden. Ninyi watu watakangi pali wanaitishwa hii, wanaona wewe ni burden kwao. So hawatakangi ile interaction sana nao, wewe kaa kivyako.
The mission of the event is to build a society that embraces people living with disability to ensure equality and inclusion. Julie Ongaki, KUTV.
Meanwhile, Kisii County government has signed a partnership with Jacaranda Health and Thinkwell organizations in a bid to enhance service delivery in the county. In Baringo County, elected leaders have resolved to bury their hatchet and put aside their differences for the purpose of restoring peace in the area. Here is Charles Kirubi with today's County Wrap.
Kisii County Government through the Department of Health has signed a partnership with Jacaranda Health and Thinkwell organizations in a bid to enhance service delivery and reduce maternal deaths in the county. The collaboration is expected to provide funding for maternal health solutions in the county, as well as reduce drivers of neonatal and maternal deaths. Elsewhere in Baringo County, elected leaders have resolved to bury their past political differences and forge unity of purpose as the government continues with restoring peace and stability in areas that have been eluded by peace for a long time. In Kilifi County, ex-sub-county administrators have been deployed to different county positions by the county executive committee members 2 weeks after being recalled by the Kilifi County Governor Gideon Mungaro. According to the acting county secretary Martin Mwaro, the move is aimed to strengthening performance of the devolved government.
Tulikuwa na mkutano wa baraza la mawaziri katika gatuzi hili ambao umeongozwa na mstahiki governor kujadili mambo kadha wa kadha kuhusu mipango ya kuendeleza maendeleo ndani ya serikali hii, na baadhi ya yale ambayo yalizungumziwa ni kuhusu kuwapatia nafasi mpya wale maafisa wa utawala ambao tuliweza kuwarudisha katika makao makuu.
Elsewhere in Marsabit County, the Marsabit Water and Sewerage Company Marwasco has installed a water utility master system to enable delivery of efficient water services to residents of Marsabit town.
Before this election, Your Excellency, we used to have people doing their own things. MB Kando, Governor Kwake, MCS Kwao. Today, Baringo speaks from one voice, and I want to say we'll continue to work together.
Kama viongozi wa kaunti hii ya Baringo, sisi tumeungana wote tukiongozwa na governor, so ile maneno ilikuwa hapo mbele kidogo imeisha.
In Homa Bay County, 1,786 ghost workers have been unearthed by the county governor in an audit released by PricewaterhouseCoopers consultant. Homa Bay County Governor Gladys Wanga stated that the implementation of the report will save the county government more than shillings 300 million annually. Charles Kirubi, KUTV.
Now, representative of persons living with disability under the Kenya National Disability Organization have today made a report on the reforms made in education sector. According to them, they have lauded the government's plan to fully facilitate education for persons abled differently, calling on the state to ensure the inclusion of PWDs in the society. However, the representatives have stated that there should be a meaningful involvement of people abled differently and organizations representing them in implementation of the new education reforms. Right, we are due for our another second break. Of course, that's a very short break. When we come back, we'll be diving into more stories. See you in just a while.
Kipindi hewani ni mitindo ya kipwani, endapo ndio mwanzo unajiunga nami. Leo nitakuwa na mapishi ya kipwani, kutakuwa na mambo matamu sana.
Kwa leo tulikuwa tumepanga tutaandalia chakula maupishi aina ya snacks inaitwa samosa.
Acha mwanzo ninyunyizie hii limao kwanza. Nisikie pia mimi nisikie ladha yake na utamu wake. Ninyunyize limao. Bye.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
The folks are going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pipopa si vuguvugu. Pipopa ni idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni duniani leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Sell the hotel without me? You're dreaming, Joffrey.
So, Chantal, I'm assuming that you have a better idea.
Yes, we agreed to wait for the marriage of Nambi and Ziwa before making any decision.
Listen, I have had enough of waiting for that girl. I'm sending her away immediately to become a nun.
And what a saintly role model you are, Joffrey, aren't you?
Why is everyone forgetting that I'm the goddamn victim around here?
Joff left me.
Zahara, stop it this once. Your daughter is right. You cannot be seen to be the cause of this sleepover.
Can't believe Nambi's leaving. What am I going to do? Bro, it's a good time to take a break. But how could she do this to me, bro? It's not fair. Just wait till Nambi gets back and then you'll see. I can't do that. You have to do it. She's mad. I mean, just imagine if it was you.
Right, welcome back. Now, let me take you to Niger. Sanctions imposed on Niger following the July military coup have resulted in food rising prices across West Africa, as well as worries that the Niger situation could spiral out of control. Food traders complain that the situation has made things worse as most of their produce is going bad in the markets.
At the Agbobloshi market in Accra, traders saw through heaps of rotten onion stock to salvage the good ones to sell. Ghana imports about 70% of its onion from Niger and has been experiencing shortages since the West African Regional Bloc, ECOWAS, closed the borders around Niger following the July 26th coup that ousted President Mohamed Bazoum. Mamoudou Al-Hado is an onion trader and says the regional security challenges are disrupting the food supply chain, raising prices.
Before, when they take the onion from Niger, they can pass Burkina to Ghana. But because of jihadis, jihadis, there are many there. They are attacking the cars. So later, they are returning to Benin and enter Togo and come to Ghana. So about few days ago, when the coup happened in Niger, and the Benin people too, they closed their borders.
A 2022 report by the Global Network Against Food Crisis placed about 41 million people in West Africa and the Sahel region at risk of experiencing an acute food crisis or worse. Ziad Hamwi is a co-chair of the Food Trade Coalition for Africa. He says ECOWAS' decision to place border sanctions on Niger threatens the entire region's food security.
There's a lot of food across the region. The problem is not with growing the food. The problem is with moving the food from the areas of production to the areas of consumption.
Hamwi calls on the regional bloc to prioritize food security in their approach to the Niger coup.
We have to start by examining the deficiencies in our regional agriculture value chains and to look at what really the problems are, to address these problems and to avoid the scenarios happening over and over again because of this nexus between security and economics and politics.
ECOWAS says it is prepared to send troops against Niger's military junta leader if they cannot be persuaded to restore constitutional order. Security analysts have criticized the move, noting the absence of a solid plan for military intervention in the region, or any plan to deal with refugees and other likely consequences of a war. Mutaru Mumuni Mukhtar is the executive director for the West African Center for Counter-Extremism. He says Niger has existing challenges with violent extremism and ethnic conflicts that threaten the entire region.
So these things makes the country very vulnerable for any kind of military intervention. So when you intervene militarily without a blueprint for containing possible fallout from it, there's a tendency that vulnerable young people who are unemployed, jobless, frustrated, angry young people could be transformed into violent rebel-type groups in support of the coup leaders in the country. And that can have a huge impact on security in the sub-region.
Advocates continue to urge ECOWAS to solve the Niger crisis diplomatically to avoid any economic and security catastrophe for all of West Africa. Sana Anutot for VOA News, Accra, Ghana.
Back to Kenya, a Kenyan innovator is recycling fish skin into leather cloths through a process known as fish skin tanning. Newton Owino from Kisumu has his own enterprise that he says aims to sustainably manage waste emanating from fish filleting industries along Lake Victoria coast.
In the town of Manica in central Mozambique, this 11-year-old is 4 months pregnant.
It's sunrise in Kajulu village overlooking Lake Victoria and another busy day for Newton Owino. Growing up in the area, Owino saw the challenges posed by fish waste on the lake environment. Today, he recycles discarded fish skins, turning them into leather products like hats and shoes that are exported to fashion markets in the United States and Europe.
I came from a school of thought that environmental solutions can only be found locally. You don't need to solve it from outside. You can only look for local solutions to your problems. And therefore, I felt like I could develop business enterprises out of those problems.
The tanning process uses plant-based organic products that are sourced locally. Owino pays women, youth, and people living with disabilities to collect the fish skins before processing them and making the leather products. Maximila Achieng, a fish vendor in Kisumu, is among those impressed by Oweno's idea.
Before, the fish skin was useless. We could just dry it and use it as firewood because we didn't know any other way to use it. But now we use it to make products like shoes, belts, jackets, bags, and so on.
Achieng's sentiments are echoed by shoemakers like Frederick Okuma.
Leather from fish skin is really good. It makes durable, high-quality shoes, which customers prefer.
According to local government officials, Kisumu hosts 9 fish filleting industries producing approximately 150,000 metric tons of fish waste annually, 80% being in the form of fish skin, which lets out a strong odor when decomposing and in high concentration can contaminate the water.
We are looking at the material recovery centers where waste is separated and weighed and sold. The people who are bringing waste into the recovery centers are paid. It is the same thing we want to do with the fish waste. Now it's not waste, it's money.
Oweno says his enterprise aims to sustainably manage waste emanating from the fish filleting industries along Lake Victoria.
Our business is anchored in protection of the 4 H's: animal health, plant health, environmental health, and human health.
It is also a profitable business, he says, and the demand is much higher than what he can produce. He is currently working on expanding production. With the increasing effects of climate change, populations are increasingly developing an environmental conscience, increasing the demand for such sustainable products like recycled fish leather. Juma Majanga of VOA News, Kisumu, Kenya.
Now, a new study released in July by the Mozambique National Institute of Statistics states that 4 in 10 female were married before the age of 18. This illegal practice has been hard to stop and dangerous for those who try to escape their situation.
In the town of Manica in central Mozambique, this 11-year-old is 4 months pregnant. The girl, who did not want to give her name for security reasons, says she survived rape and was forced into marriage.
I was at my mother's house. He arrived, broke down the door, and brought me here to Mozambique from Zimbabwe. He raped me. He took my virginity and got me pregnant.
In Mozambique, the minimum age of marriage is 18. But a new study released in July by the National Institute of Statistics says 4 in 10 females were married before that. And these premature unions often resulted in pregnancy. 3% of females in early unions become mothers by age 14. In 2021, at age 16, Pony Francisco decided to leave her marriage. Her husband refused to accept the separation and hired some people to kill her.
When I left the house to go to the school alongside 2 girls, we saw 2 men in the road, older men. One took off his shirt, hid the knife. The younger one then showed his knife. They said the 2 girls could leave, but I had to stay. I stayed, but began to think and started to run. I dropped the books and pens I was holding. They got me and stabbed me. They stabbed me in one eye, and now I can only see with one eye.
Francisco's injuries were so severe that she had to relearn how to walk, talk, and trust people. The attackers were convicted in June, a win not only for Francisco, but also for the fight against early marriages, explains Ancha Mulima, coordinator of the organization Le Musica, which supports girls and teens like Francisco during recovery and provides legal services.
It was one of the positive things that 2023 brought us. Congratulations to Le Musica, because we could fight until the court considered us right and agreed this girl had the right to win the case.
Poverty, cultural norms, and inefficient implementation of marriage laws exacerbate the problem of early unions in Mozambique, Mulima says. Sometimes, the parents of the girls La Musica rescues from early marriage force them back into bonds with older men as payment for a debt or in exchange for a dowry, Mulima adds.
We are following the situation with the parents because they were the ones who gave them away.
The national statistics show that despite its decades-long fight against early marriage and early pregnancy, Mozambique still has work to do towards solving both problems. For André Batista in Manica, Mozambique, Bárbara Santos, VOA News.
Right, it is 42 minutes past the time to take our in yet another short break. When we come back, it's all about sporty news. See you in a while.
Today is when we get to meet the newly crowned Mr. Nairobi.
Warren Peter is a student at Kenyatta University pursuing bachelor's degree in economics and finance. Warren Peter is a model. Warren Peter is a stylist. Warren Peter is a guitarist. Yeah, Warren Peter is a jack of all trades. I'll never leave the house without a watch. I'll never leave the house without a necklace.
Focus on Health is a show that creates awareness on matters health and informs you on various diseases, their causes, treatment, prevention, coping, and support. So join me, Bwari Michelle, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. only on KUTV. You can also follow us on our social media platforms at KUTV Focus on Health on Facebook and also on YouTube, and Health Focus on Instagram, because your health is your wealth. Stay safe and stay healthy.
Lola is an app that gives you a chance to watch videos, listen to audios, and read articles wherever you are for free. Motivational stories, dramas, campus life, technology, lifestyle, adventure, sports, academics, jobs, entertainment, and more. Download Lola now on Play Store. All you need, you got Lola.
Kipindi hewani ni mitindo ya kipwani, endapo ndio mwanzo unajiunga nami. Leo nitakuwa na mapishi ya kipwani, kutakuwa na mambo matamu sana.
Kwa leo tulikuwa tumepanga tutaandalia chakula ama upishi aina ya snacks inaitwa samosa.
Acha mwanzo ninyunyizie hii limao kwanza. Nisikie pia mimi nisikie ladha yake na utamu wake. Ninyunyize limao. Bye.
right, now it's time to get the latest in the world of sports. Well, the Football Kenya Federation Premier League season will kick off tomorrow with 8 matches on the card. Champions Gor Mahia will take on 209 winners, that is Sofapaka at the Moi International Sports Center Kasarani, while the runners-up, that is Tusker, will take on Bandari FC at Mbaraki Sports Ground in Mombasa on Sunday. Newly promoted Shabana FC will take on Murang'a Seals at Raila Odinga Stadium in Homa Bay, while Postal Rangers will tackle Bidco United at the Moi Sports Center Kasarani. All matches will kick off at 3:30 p.m. that is local time. That's all we had for you. Many thanks for tuning in. My name is Sauma Evans. Our sign language interpreter has been Evelyn Langat. Until next time, bye-bye and God bless.